Hi everyone, I'm Rhonda Hall. I have always been, am now, and probably forever will be, in some form or another, a writer, an author, a speaker, and a guide. I also am dedicated to using the energy and the power that exists in words, plus the incredible creativity and insights and awareness that come through art, revealing and shining a light on our art, whether it's a canvas, ink on paper, as a locksmith, as a person who works retail at a grocery store. However our art gets channeled through to take words consciously, art, and then through the power of collaboration, bring those together to uplift one another as we do our very best to be spiritual beings maneuvering this crazy human experience, holding hands. To me, the most important outcome that we can discover is that every moment can be a keepsake moment, even the messy ones. One of my favorite gurus is A.A. Milne through his characters of Christopher Robin and Winnie the Pooh. And it was Christopher Robin who reminded Winnie the Pooh, "You are stronger than you seem, you are braver than you believe, and you are smarter than you think you are." And I believe that that is an important piece of wisdom to hold on to with every step we take. Because I'm sure you have noticed that as hard as we might try to live in our comfort zone and make everything be easy, some of our greatest lessons come when our chin is dragging on the ground. And so it's important to remember, even in those moments, how incredibly miraculous it is that we share the emotions and the sensory experiences and the deep feelings of love for one another on this human journey. So very briefly, I want to share with you a few words that I have played with to help keep me on course. First of all, a very important part of maneuvering through life is to somehow let our minds get beyond all of the mind chatter and the noisiness of life to find silence. So it's tricky sometimes, but we need to find the silence within. And we find that by just daring to listen, getting more comfortable with not judging the words that pass through, but just acknowledging them and letting them go and returning to the silence by listening. And then we take this another level so that we are doing that with one another. Rather than listening to someone, waiting for our turn to speak, we go into and honor what has come through their silence and listen for the content of their soul rather than judging it according to what we might believe. So just having that mutual respect through silence, through a form of listening. From that, we gain an insight. And sometimes when you listen and people disagree, you get insight. So it takes listening with patience beyond what triggers you and pay more attention to the insight, the sight within, the part of you that knows that all is well, even if you disagree. Listening to understand, listening to have a new way of seeing. with that intention. And what comes through that type of listening and insight comes intimacy. And the only way that you have true intimacy with another is to have intimacy with yourself, to listen to what you know in your deep down place, which is the true intimacy of who we are. So experiencing intimacy by into me see and into you see. It is true that we are these spiritual beings having a human experience, and so we are that splash of the sacred that exists in this human experience. This is the human experience of, I'm scared, life is overwhelming, it's too tough. It's just a matter of switching our perception, even when the circumstances really suck, just to remember that we can shift from that place of being scared to that place of feeling sacred again, to recognize that we are somehow a spark of the divine mystery that we don't understand, regardless of how we define that in our lives, that there's something bigger than we are. And the truth is that I feel that through art, through words, and through collaboration, we realize that we are stronger when we connect than when we stand alone. And so I invite you to open yourself to the belief that every moment can be a keepsake moment, even the messy ones. I invite you to learn more about my work and my products by visiting me at rhondahull.com. That's RHONDAHULL.com. I look forward to seeing you there, and I look forward to hearing from you. What are your favorite words and quotes? What are the words that hold the most energy and power for you? What are the words that you need to hear when you're face down in order to have you be able to uplift and remember that you are stronger than you seem, braver than you believe, and smarter than you think you are? Thanks.